Welcome. We're back.
Hello.
We're back for our last episode of Couples Cocktails for 2020, and we got a really big show.
Oh,
tonight.
such a big show
tonight. We have a lot of
tonight.
action going on.
Such a big show.
Lots of action tonight. Lots of things going on. It's lots of stuff here on the studio table.
Yes, we do.
Which where a lot of discussion about whether it was too much, but we don't care. We're just going forward. So we are very excited, right?
Very excited.
Talk about the things that we have enjoyed the most, different ways, different angles in this very difficult year for a lot of people. So we're going to focus on the positive stuff, not on the negative stuff, because there has been a lot of positive stuff. Hopefully that will come out of this. Will be a lot more in 2021. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on our favorite things, 2020.
Yes.
And you have a big pile of stuff.
Yeah, I do, because
there.
I like visuals.
You have stuff.
I like visuals.
I have my notes, as usual.
Yep.
And I will point out to those of you who have seen us before, she has notes.
I do.
You have notes.
I wrote one note. Yep.
She has notes. Look at that. So she's got notes. We've got our stuff. And how we're going to do this is we're going to start, because Julie has, what did you do for tonight?
So I kind of came up with, 11, so it's 11 of my top favorite things that have been like a comfort to me during the 2020 year, mostly during the pandemic.
All
so
right.
I tried to come up with what like helped me kind of get through the pandemic the most. Okay, and I do want to say that this is stuff. This is material stuff. This is not family, friends. This is not any of the core good values that.
Still, I'm not.
No. The family and friends aside.
Okay. Yeah. You're talking about stuff.
This is like the stuff. So this is like the Oprah's favorite 2020.
Your
but
favorite.
it's Julie's 2020.
Julie's Comfort 2020.
Yes, that's what I want.
Excellent.
Yes.
So, but you got a big list.
Yeah.
I've got a series of short lists, right? So I've got my top 3 books that I read. I'm a pretty big reader, so my top 3 books. Now, and just to let you know, the books don't have to come out in 2020, but the 3 favorite ones that I read. Okay. Right? My top 3 television shows, and I like TV.
Yep.
So, and again, don't necessarily have to come out in 2020, but what I happen to see.
Okay.
And my top 3 songs, and I did limit those to tracks that were released in 2020. So that I did limit to 2020 songs. And finally, since I'm a bourbon drinker, I told you there's a lot of stuff. So finally, we're going to go through 3 of my favorite bourbons at different maybe a lot of time. 3 of my favorite bourbons for 2020 at different price levels. So we're going to go from cheapest, less expensive to most expensive. Okay. So therefore, I'm not going to tell everyone what I'm drinking tonight because I'm going to wait and let them know at the end. How cool is that?
Me too. Me too. Because one of the things that's on my comfort list is wine that I like.
All right, so let's do a few things on your top 11. Okay. We'll toggle over to one of my lists and go back and forth.
Okay, so these are not in any order. This was I called this a brain dump. I got a piece of paper and I wrote down things. So these are not in any particular order. I'm not ranking what was the most comforting or the best thing that that I have. So I will say that especially in the beginning of the pandemic, meditation for me was very valuable. Okay. And I have a friend, Stacy Rogers, who ran a group that I was part of in the very beginning, and it was very, very helpful. And then since then, I've also used a couple apps that I want to tell people about.
Meditation apps?
So on my phone. One of them, I think my favorite one is Brain FM.
Okay.
And there's different ones that you can do for relaxation, for sleep, for focus, and I also like Headspace, and another one called Calm. So I would say meditation for me is on the list of comforting things that is in my top.
Now, did you do more of that this year, or is that something that you do regularly and have been done?
No, I actually
I don't really pay that much attention to it.
So I've been saying that I want to do more meditation, and so this year I was able. Year since the pandemic, I was able to put time towards that.
Okay.
So that
was a comforting thing for you.
It was a comforting
meditation
thing.
And those apps. What are those apps again for anybody who's listening?
Brain FM.
Brain FM.
Headspace,
Headspace,
and Calm.
Calm, CALM.
Yeah,
Calm.
all on the
Free apps, or do you have to pay for anything?
Well, they all give you free at the beginning, and then they hook you in with paying, some money.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do a couple more off your list.
Okay. So the other thing that was a real big saving grace for me was exercise. And particularly in the beginning, we were making up our own, but then we ended up getting a Peloton treadmill.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I do have to say that for me, that's been a saving grace. And I do think that really helped me get through it and exercising daily. So
exercise and the Peloton.
Yep, Peloton.
You're shut out of the gym, obviously, for a good chunk of the year.
Yep.
Okay, so exercise and Peloton. And let's do one more.
Okay, then the other was candles. I've been lighting a lot of candles, and this is Volcano.
This thing stinks.
David doesn't like it, but I love it. So it's a Volcano candle, and I get them. You can get them at Anthropologie. Also, Gypsy Teal locally at the beach here has them. Anthropologie just had a sale on them, and I got a couple of these. But anyway, just lighting a candle. It doesn't have to be this Volcano. I've gotten them from the dollar store. Just having a candle, having a nice smell in the house while you're stuck at home, that was helpful for me.
Okay. I mean, I never really quite get the whole candle
thing,
but a lot of people buy them. So let's toggle over to my first list.
Okay, let's hear your list. I'll have a drink of my wine.
First list is my 3 favorite books of the year. And I'm going to go with number 3 to number 2 to number 1. This year they were all nonfiction books, although I read several novels. There was nothing that I would say to you, gosh, I couldn't put it down. It was fantastic. I loved it. There were some good books that I read, but nothing that I would look back and say, oh, I'd read that again. Yeah. So there were, however, a lot of nonfiction books. The first one, which is number 3, called Anne Perry and the Murder of the Century, which is about 2 young women in New Zealand in the 1950s who were in a girls' school, got to be very close friends, romantic involvement when they were teenagers, and none of this happened, obviously, in the 1950s. And they murdered one of the girls' moms. So the story is interesting, the trial is interesting, and what's even more interesting is that one of the girls that were convicted of killing this woman is Anne Perry, the author who has written I don't know how many dozens of novels and sold however many millions of books. So that's my number 3. Number 2, called The Liberator. If you're looking for a World War II story, it's an awesome story about just a guy who came from Hardscrabble, Texas, had nothing, and he was overseas for approximately 500 days, from the beaches of Sicily, the fights in Italy, all the way through when he was one of the first Americans at Dachau. And so that's a great book. My number 1 book I really love. Here we go. Number 1 is called The Ghosts of Eden Park by Karen Abbott. Ooh. And this is a true story about the greatest bootlegger of our time, really, George Remus.
I wonder why you like that.
Oh, it's just a great story. It's amazing to read about how he built his business and what he did, all of it illegal at the time. And then built within there, it's a murder story because
Ooh.
He was accused of murdering his younger wife at the time. So it's an awesome book. You can't make this kind of stuff up. And that would be a great movie. So number 1, The Ghost of Eden Park.
All right, pick it up.
Really good. There's my list number 1. Okay.
So we'll come back to me. So
come back to
you. Number 4 on my list of favorite things that were most comforting is a brand of workout clothes. I like to wear a lot of workout clothes anyway, but particularly during the quarantine, I was looking for comfort. And Viore was our new find for this, I would say, the quarantine. Viore. Viore. I particularly like their joggers. And if you're going to try a pair of, something from the company, I highly recommend their joggers. They're so comfortable.
You look awesome in their joggers.
Thank you. I wear them a lot. I have a few pair. You have a few pair as well.
Yeah.
But I really like their stuff. They have some great tops too. But get a pair of Viore. Yep. Here's the little logo.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. So the next comfort item is also clothing, and I had Birkenstocks before this, but I got really into the Birkenstocks. I had a summer pair, and then these are my winter pair, and they are lined with Sherpa. And they're really comfy. And they're ugly. We know that they're ugly, but they're so comfortable. So anyway, Birkenstocks and Viore.
Stocks and socks, they call them, right?
Yeah, so those kind of things were just like my comfort clothing for this, you know, 2020.
All right. I
Yep.
like it.
Yep.
Let's do one. But you did wear Birkenstocks before.
Yes, I had Birkenstocks before, but I just like got more into them. Plus, they're very supportive and they help with art.
Plus, I now have a couple pairs.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah, and they are nice. I'm
I'm
wearing some right now. They are ugly, but man, are they comfortable.
Yeah. So Viore and Birkenstocks were.
Yeah. If you told me 20 years ago that I'd be wearing Birkenstocks, I'd have said you're out of your goddamn mind. No way would I be caught dead in those things. And now I pretty much wear them almost every day around the house.
Yeah, you do wear them.
I look pretty stupid, but they're pretty comfortable.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Anyways.
So anybody else on here wear Birkenstocks?
Yeah,
chime in here.
Oh yeah, and if you have some of your own favorite stuff as we go through all this, pop it on to us.
I see Kenny's on here. My mom's on here. I think
he's waiting for the bourbon discussion.
Richard. I saw Sharon Blaustein.
Okay.
I saw a few people on here. So Tracy Schmitz watching. If you have any favorite things for 2020 shows or otherwise, let us know. Okay, I'll do one more of our thing. Okay, so I have. Okay, so the other thing is, beginning of quarantine, I was trying to figure out what I could do to help my immune system and what could I do to be healthy. So there were two things that I've done pretty much every day since the quarantine, and you've been doing it too. So there's a company that I have bought shakes from and like energy drinks from, and it's called Plexus. I'm not selling it, so none of these items I'm selling. So these are just purely, this is what I do. So there's one product, it's called Slim. It comes with a little packet. You mix it with water. And it's supposed to help your gut health, basically. It's all about microbes and helps with your metabolism. And I don't know, in my mind, I thought if I have healthy gut health, that I'll have a good immune system.
What does that even mean?
No, it's true. Even my brother-in-law, Michael, believes in the microbiomes and the gut health. So you can ask him. He says it's true. So anyway, I've been doing one of these every day, and then I also do an airborne with the elderberry, which has the vitamin C and zinc. And I don't know, I'm just trying to up my whatever.
Health.
Yeah.
Health. So Karen Porter
yeah.
watched Atypical, which we watched, and we also liked about
Loved
the boy
it.
who was autistic
Yes.
and his family. Really good show.
Loved it.
That. Did not make my top three, but that's for the not this list. That's my next to last list.
Yeah.
So I'll move to list number 2, which is my top 3 tracks, musical tracks of 2020. And this was not easy because I listen to a lot of music and I like music. I like a lot of different kinds of music. But ultimately, for the most part, I fell back to a couple of people that I really like. So number 3, you knew he was going to make the list, right?
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, Springsteen released a new album this year that if you haven't heard it and you're even a moderate Bruce Springsteen fan, it's really, really a good album. Some of the music he wrote back in the 1960s and 70s. And it just sounds like his old stuff. Now, and I had to put a song on this list from that album. Ultimately, I chose the song called Ghosts as my number 3, it just has a cool story. It's about him in the first band that he was in, and he's the sole survivor of this first band that he was in when he was a teenager. He also in the lyrics also about other people that have gone before him and how he misses them and that sort of thing. Great song, rocky kind of song. If they ever can go out live again, I guarantee you that's what he's going to open a live show with. So Bruce Springsteen, Ghosts. The album is Letter to You. I'd suggest you listen to it. It's awesome. Number two. You know I'm in the bag for her, right? I love me some Miranda Lambert, right? She just does it to me. I don't care what she's doing.
You wish you were doing it to her.
No, if you would, I got the green light. You said,
yeah.
So I could find my way around her. I think. Or as a good friend of mine once said, "Oh, the things you could do to her." But I digress.
Yeah,
so
you did
I digress. So she put out a song in the very early part of 2020. It might have been late 2019, but early part of 2020, which is a remake of an old Elvin Bishop song from the 1970s called "Fooled Around and Fell in Love."
Yep.
It's Miranda Lambert, Ashley McBryde, a few other female singers.
I've heard it play a lot.
And it's just a great, I think, better than the original myself.
Yep.
And of course, we get her. So that's my number 2. Now, number 1 is going to surprise you, I think.
Yeah.
Okay? I heard this song not that long ago, and it just really hit me. It's a song about a stepdad and about his relationship with his son.
Right.
It's called My Boy by L.V. Shane. My Boy by L.V. Shane.
Song.
Great. Yeah. It's a country song, but the lyrics are just off the
really
charts
nice,
good,
sweet.
and it really touched me and struck me, and I love it. So for me, that are number one.
Yep.
So Ghosts, the remake of Full Realm Fell in Love, and L.V. Shane, My Boy, number one.
Okay.
There you have it. Songs. Okay. What else you got?
So, okay. So now these are two comforting drinks. So and they're separate. So the first thing I start my morning with is green tea. My favorite is Tazo by, I think it's actually a Starbucks brand, but it's a green tea. It has a little bit of caffeine in it. And I always feel like, again, immunity wise.
What's it called? Tazo. Tazo.
Yes.
So is it?
I do the K-Cups, but they make bags too. They make tea bags too. But I start my day with green tea. I love it. I think it's good for your metabolism, your immunity, and those kinds of things. So the other drink that I really like that I'm drinking is, I had to have wine on here. So one of my favorite wines is the Santa Julia, and it's made with organic grapes, and it doesn't have a lot of preservatives in it, and it doesn't give you a headache. So if you're sensitive to red wine, well, if you drink a lot of it. So if you're sensitive to red wine and headaches, try this one out. They actually have it at Roots. They have it at the Safeway near my house. So you can get it, and it's not expensive. It's probably, I don't know, $10 a bottle. So Santa Julia is.
Santa Julia.
Yep.
And then at night, and the Tazo tea
in the morning. Yeah. So those are my two drinks.
Okay, you still have some other stuff over there. So I will go to my TV shows.
All right.
And then we'll finish you up, and then I'll do a quick scooch through some whiskey. How's that sound? Does that sound good? All right. So television shows.
Yep.
So first, before we get to my top three, two misses that people loved, and I did not. Schitt's Creek, didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
People do like that show. I think we should try it again. Maybe.
I'm not trying it again. I watched 6 or 7. I just didn't like it. I thought it was dumb.
All right.
I like Eugene Levy. I've always liked Eugene Levy. I just didn't. I just didn't buy it. The Crown, way too sleepy. I mean, I tried to watch it. I jumped ahead. I went back. I just, and I get the history, and I understand that it's somewhat, and I say somewhat based on the British Crown, because I don't think it's entirely based. But I just didn't. I just thought it was.
So what did you like?
I'm gonna get there. Okay, so now we have the last three out.
Yes.
The reason I had to do the last three out is because I have Karen DeMarco didn't like it either. I'm not sure which one she didn't like, but maybe both of them or one of the other.
Karen, which one didn't you like?
Schitt's Creek or The Crown. So while she's typing that in, my last three out were three really excellent shows, okay? Yellowstone, which is Kevin Costner's show, like a contemporary Western, I liked a lot. I thought it was really good. A lot of violence, but really, really good. I liked it. And 2, Mindhunter, which is not a new show. It's a 2 seasons, I think, on Netflix. It's all about how the FBI created the hunt for serial killers, and it's very cool. And also what didn't make it was Fargo Season 4, which I love the Fargo shows, as you know. Those three just missed it. So my top three.
Yes, top three.
Top three, must-watch TV, must-see TV. Number 3, Better Call Saul, okay? Better Call Saul is the prequel to Breaking Bad.
Yep.
The first few seasons a little bit slow. This season was off the charts, and there was a couple episodes in this season that I think would have been of the best of Breaking Bad. Okay, Better Call Saul, number 3. Number 2, another one I'm in the bag for.
My mom and dad didn't like
Schitt's Creek. Yeah, I just thought it was dumb. It's just I didn't get it, but listen, a lot of people did, so that's what makes it work around.
Yep.
Number 2, and again, another girl I'm in the bag for. Gillian Anderson, right? I love Gillian Anderson. The Fall. Oh, what a great show. And again, that came out a few years ago. Netflix apparently re-released it, and it got a lot of coverage this year. It's just fantastic. I can't remember who the male lead is. He plays a grief counselor who is a serial killer. And here I am with serial killers again. And Gillian Anderson plays a cop who's very twisted, and
you loved it.
I loved it, and I love her, and it was just really, really good show. Number 1, you're going to be happy with this.
I'm so happy you made the list, because this is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
This is my favorite one.
I really wavered between this and The Fall as my favorite shows of the year. But I have to say, from beginning to end. And so I didn't judge it because it was a mini series versus a show that was 2 or 3 seasons long. Just judge it from beginning to end.
Yep.
And I will tell you that The Queen's Gambit
Woo!
was just awesome television.
Yep.
I've heard some people who ragged on it a bit.
didn't like
It was
it,
too intellectual, or it was boring, not enough happened. But that was kind of the point.
I loved it.
There was
I
no
loved it.
sex, there was no violence. The acting was terrific.
And
the
talk
writing,
about resiliency.
Right.
Talk about resiliency. Here's a girl
Yeah.
that was orphaned. Here's a girl that had addiction issues because of being in the orphanage,
Yeah.
and genetic mental health issues. And she struggled with all of those things and came out okay.
Okay,
And
she's brilliant.
Right, but that's what I'm saying to you, is the resiliency there was amazing. So from my perspective, from a therapist's perspective, I thought it was a fabulous.
It was a great series.
It was. I
Very
loved it.
uplifting.
My favorite.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
I don't want to give away anything if you haven't seen it. It's 6 episodes, I think, 6 or 7 episodes. It's not a big commitment.
Yeah.
Just really terrific.
And we got our grandsons playing chess because of it.
and I've got the boys playing chess. Shane, we've already taught for the most part.
Yeah,
He understands the basics.
He loves it.
It takes years to learn how to play chess.
Yep.
I wish I could remember how I learned how to play chess. I don't know.
It wasn't the way you're teaching him on YouTube and videos.
No,
and stuff.
I don't remember. I think it might have been like at one of those. Remember in the summertime at some schools they had like those like centers where you could go and do sports and stuff in the school. Now, of course, the schools don't have the money for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been there, but I just don't remember. So,
Yeah, I agree.
So my 3 top shows: Better Call Saul. That's a show you do have to watch, and if you watch Breaking Bad, you're going to want to watch it from the beginning, and you have to be prepared to invest yourself because it does take a little time. 2, The Fall, Gillian Anderson, off the charts, and finally Queen's Gambit, which I just we loved it. We loved it from beginning to end.
Yep.
It's a terrific show. Okay,
Yep.
Derek.
Okay, so next 2 products are really self-care driven. I found, well, first of all, I love lip stuff, not necessarily lipstick, but I need to have like Aquaphor or Vaseline or something. So I found a new lip thing that I'm really liking. It's called Awake. It's like a lip mask, and I think I got it on Sephora or Ulta.
You're trying to have me put it on my face or something.
No, I didn't. You said your lips were dry.
They were.
So it doesn't have a strong smell, like a little fruity, but I like it, and I use it at night and in the morning, and I'm awake. So that's my new lip jam. I love it. And then I'm a big bath person, so I take a bath pretty much every night, and that is definitely like a meditation time for me and just a comforting time. So I love bath salts. This is just one, the pink Himalayan salt, and it has a little bit of orange and some other flavors in it, smells, and anyway, I love my bath at night, and I love using bath salts. So those are 2 self-care kinds of things. And then
Here comes
this is the big one. This is the big one, and I'm actually going to show you.
Give me a demo.
This is a demo. Okay, so we have dogs. We have 2 dogs. We have shedding. I am rather obsessed with my Eufy, which is like a vacuum cleaner, robot vacuum cleaner. So it circles the area.
Scares the living
the dogs
hell
do not
out
like
of the dogs,
it. Yeah.
by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, so we run this every day. And
sometimes you run it twice
Sometimes I run it twice a day. And David thinks that there's like some weird thing, like there's no way the dirt actually comes from our house. He thinks they planted it there.
I think that there's some sort of a Russian situation going on. And
well,
the
maybe
Russians
we shouldn't joke about that today.
Yeah, no, maybe we shouldn't joke about it today. But
so I'm just going to show you, for the purpose of not embarrassing how dirty our house is, but I'm going to show you.
It's going to be the same
This is every day. This is what comes out of the Eufy. So you set it up and you leave it alone. You just have to make sure the cords are not in the way. And you literally do nothing. And then every day.
And my whiskey.
This comes out of the vacuum cleaner. If I run it again, it will get more. And what's really cool is it goes...
Show it a little bit close. It's hard to see it. It's in the plastic bag.
Yeah, but like this is a lot of stuff. This house was clean. Like I ran it yesterday. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of dog hair, a lot of dirt. And what's really nice is it goes under furniture. So I highly recommend, if you like your house clean and you don't necessarily like to vacuum, this is a great way to do it, and I'm pulling more stuff out of it now.
Yeah,
It's weird and it's gross and anyway.
It's hard for me to believe that much stuff collects every day.
Every day.
I just don't. I don't know. I think there's like some secret pouch that spits the stuff.
Yeah.
In there.
No. Anyway, so I'm in love with my Eufy, and it's great.
Okay, so for us,
and we're home so much more that you really it makes sense to have something like that.
There's more dirt, I guess, since you're around, right?
Yeah.
Is that possible? The Best Show Music Series, Dave Dennison says, Dave Grohl Hanukkah Sessions. Okay, well, we'll take a look.
Oh, I'm going to try that. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm going to toggle over to.
I hope you're feeling better, Dave.
Yeah, here's to you and your wife. I hope all is well. My three of my favorite bourbons, but some of the best in different price points. Okay. Number one. Let's do it. Number one. On the inexpensive side, can be had for roughly $30 a bottle if you can find it. I say that because sometimes you can't, and sometimes it's overloaded on the shelves. Buffalo Trace, great inexpensive whiskey, $30. You can drink it neat, put in ice. You can mix it in Manhattan. Awesome whiskey, very reasonable. You don't feel bad about drinking this just because you had a bad Tuesday. Okay. Good whiskey. Number two, mid price. Okay. This.
You've been drinking that for years.
I've been drinking this for years, and this is still one of my favorites.
Widow Jane.
Maybe not my 100% favorite, but this is, especially in the wintertime, this has got a big oaky flavor, makes you get all tingly all over. And you can find this between $60 is a good price for this. I've seen it as high as 80, but 60 to 69 is what you ought to pay if you can find it. But it's definitely worth the buy. And if you don't like to spend a lot on whiskey, this would be a good one to buy and drink on special times because it's just really, really delicious. It's so good, and it just so happens that's what I'm drinking tonight. Okay. And finally, the top shelf, and you can see I haven't opened this bottle yet because I was able to find two of them. I drank one in fairly short order, but this one is the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, not to be confused with the small batch for those of you fellows who drink whiskey out there. The Single Barrel is a different world. It's like when Star Trek found a whole new universe. The Enterprise found a whole new place. Really, really fantastic. This is $100 to $120 a bottle. I don't tell you.
Pricey.
Yeah, I don't tell you.
Yeah.
I can't find this very often anyways. I'm likely to break this open sometime shortly, but it's been sitting on my shelf because I drank the other one in about a week. So E.H. Taylor.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. That's all. That's my list.
Okay.
And I'm sticking to it.
That's the 2020. So we just wanted to let you guys know that the next 2 weeks we won't be here. It's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and
we'll be celebrating.
We'll be celebrating, doing whatever. But we wish you guys a healthy and happy season, and we'll be back in 2021, and hopefully we'll be talking about different things other than the.
Can I do my book plug?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Stocking Stuffers, my first novel, 2015. Guys who like to read, boys book, card game. You can grab it on any internet site. It's
Great book.
My first book that I ever wrote. Second book that I wrote because I had to. It also fits well in a stocking, right? They all fit well in a stocking. Mm-hmm. This was a book that was close to my heart. My second novel came out in 2017?
Yeah, I think it's
2017. And of course, our up to now masterpiece, although there'll be another one coming, the 5 Core Conversations for Couples. Grab them, stuff them in stockings, give them to your friends, give them to couples.
Most of all, give us reviews. We need reviews on that one. So if you read it, you don't even have to give a review. Just give a rating.
Put stars up.
Yep,
and if you didn't like it, put 1 star up. If you liked it, put 5.
No, put 5 up. We like 5. We like 5-star. Anyway, Thank you guys for watching. We hope everybody's healthy and happy. And happy everything.
Happy holidays. And here's to a healthy and happy 2021. Hope everybody hangs in there. Stick to your lane. Do the best you can to stay healthy. Do what you think is right. Protect your loved ones. Protect yourselves. But try to live your lives. Here's to you. We'll see you next year.